Welcome to the Deep Dive. Today, we're really getting into something special, an ancient story, but wow, does it have lessons for us now?
It really does. It's powerful stuff.
We're looking at the Dhammapada Hakata, bit of a tongue twister, specifically story number 52, Kasakavatthu.
And it's this incredible narrative. You've got a farmer, some robbers, hidden gold.
Right, and a very wise teacher, a king. It all kind of spirals from one misunderstanding.
Exactly. It's quite dramatic, actually, how this one moment of, well, misinterpretation nearly leads to tragedy,
Yeah.
but then also delivers this profound lesson.
Yeah, and that's our mission today, isn't it? To sort of peel back the layers, follow the twists, and really get to grips with the core teaching about, actions and consequences and why some deeds, well, they're just not well done.
Couldn't put it better. Let's dive in.
Okay, so picture this. We start with a farmer. He's out in his field, working away, diligently tilling the soil.
Yep, just outside the city of Sabathi. A pretty normal scene, you'd think.
But then, enter the chaos.
Yeah.
A group of robbers.
And these guys were smart, in a way. They didn't just smash down the door of this wealthy house. No, they found another way in. Through a water drain, believe it or not.
Wow. Okay, resourceful.
Very. They grabbed a load of gold and silver and slipped back out the same way.
Okay, but here's where things get complicated. The accident.
Right. One of the thieves, maybe a bit greedier than the rest.
Always one, isn't there?
Seems like it. He tried to stash an extra purse, 1,000 coins, tucked it in his waistband. But later, when they're dividing the loot in the farmer's field, mind you.
Oh, bad location choice.
Terrible. The purse just falls out, and he doesn't even notice. It's just lying there in the dirt.
1,000 coins, just sitting there. Okay.
Now, this is where the teacher, Sata, comes in. And his, extraordinary perception.
Before dawn, right.
Exactly. Very early morning. He's scanning the world with his knowledge net, as the text puts it.
And he sees the farmer.
He sees the farmer. He sees what's about to happen, this false accusation. He knows he's the only one who can vouch for the farmer.
And more than that.
He sees the farmer's potential, his capacity for sotapati, stream entry. Real spiritual progress.
So that's why he goes.
That's exactly why. He sets out for the field, taking Ananda with him.
Okay, so they arrive. Satha and Ananda. What does the farmer do?
Well, he's busy farming. He sees them, gives a quick nod, respectful acknowledgement.
And then just goes back to his work?
Yep.
Yep.
Completely oblivious to what's unfolding, or who these people really are, in a sense.
Then comes that really weird bit. The cryptic part?
The snake part, yes. Yeah. Sata points towards the purse, the hidden one, and says to Ananda, look, Ananda, a snake, or shaviso.
The snake, and Ananda just agrees.
Instantly.
Yeah.
Indeed, Bhante, a terrible snake.
Yeah.
Or a viso, very emphatic.
Okay, now we know what they mean, but the farmer.
Exactly. He overhears this, and what does he think?
Well, there's a snake in his field.
Oh.
A dangerous one.
Yeah, right. He's confused, probably a bit alarmed. He waits for them to leave.
Sensible.
And then grabs his goad, the stick for the oxen.
Thinking he's going to kill this snake.
That's the plan. But when he prods the spot, surprise, no snake, just the purse.
The penny drops. Or maybe the 1,000 coins drop, metaphorically.
Right. He realizes that's what Sata meant. But then he does something puzzling.
This is the part I find strange. What does he do?
The text says it's due to abhyabatataya, like a lack of skill or maybe just not thinking clearly. He just covers the purse with some dust, hides it superficially.
And goes back to farming.
Just leaves it there, hidden under a bit of dirt. A small act, seems like, but...
Huge consequences brewing.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So next morning, the people who were robbed, they obviously discover the theft.
And they start tracking.
They follow the footprints. Padanupada, step by step.
Lead them right to the field.
Right to the field. They find the spot where the loot was divided up. And from there, it's easy. They see the farmer's footprints leading away from that spot.
Straight to the hidden purse.
Straight to where he kicked dust over it. They uncover it.
Oh, boy. This looks bad for the farmer. Really bad.
It erupts. They grab him, accuse him. He rob houses, then pretend to farm.
And they beat him.
Drag him off to the king. It's brutal. His whole world just turned upside down.
But then he starts doing that strange thing. The chanting.
This is the really remarkable part. As they're whipping him, leading him off, probably to his execution.
He just keeps repeating.
Only those words. Look, Ananda, a snake, and indeed Bhante, a terrible snake. Over and over. Nothing else.
That must have confused the guards. A lot.
Totally. It's so bizarre, right? Why say that? It makes them pause. They ask him what on earth he's talking about.
And he refuses to explain.
Not to them. He insists. He'll only explain it to the king himself.
Takes guts. Or maybe desperation.
Maybe both. But he holds firm.
And he gets his chance.
He does. Brought before the king, he tells the whole story. Everything. From the morning work, finding the purse, the words of Satha and Ananda.
Stressing his innocence the whole time.
Absolutely. And crucially, he's relying on the teacher's words as his proof, his witness.
Now the king, how does he react?
This is where the king shows his wisdom. He hears the farmer appealing to Satha.
The foremost person in the world.
Exactly. The king thinks, hold on, I can't just condemn this man if he's the witness. It wouldn't be right. Needs verification.
So he doesn't just rely on the circumstantial evidence.
No, he decides to go straight to the source, which is pretty unusual.
He goes to see Satha himself.
Yes. Takes the farmer with him and goes to visit Satha that evening. A royal visit to clarify a potential execution. Shows you the teacher's standing.
Definitely. And the king is direct.
Very precise.
Yeah.
Asks Satha point blank, Agava, were you and Ananda in this farmer's field?
No.
Satha confirms, yes.
What did you see there?
Satha replies, basically, a purse of 1,000 coins.
Wow. And the final question.
And what did you say after seeing it?
And Satha
confirms the exact words. I said, look, Ananda, a snake. And Ananda replied, indeed, Bhante, a terrible snake. Every detail matches the farmer's account.
Incredible. The farmer must have felt. Relief doesn't even cover it.
I can only imagine. And the king gets it instantly.
What does he say?
He turns to Satha and says something like, Bhante, wow, if this man hadn't invoked you, hadn't repeated your words, he'd be dead.
Yeah.
But just by repeating what you said, even though he didn't fully understand it at first, he saved his own life.
That peculiar chant was his lifeline.
It really was. And this is the moment Sat delivers the core teaching, the takeaway.
What does he say?
He says, essentially, a wise person avoids doing things they'll regret later. They don't do things that will bring tears and suffering when the consequences arrive.
Simple, but profound. Don't do stuff that makes you miserable down the line.
Exactly. And it was crystallized in this verse, this gatha.
Can you share that?
Sure.
Okay, and the meaning, essentially.
It means an action isn't well done. It's not sadhu, not good or beautiful if doing it leads to regret, leads to sorrow. If you end up weeping, facing the painful results, that action wasn't skillfully done.
It's not just about avoiding punishment, but avoiding that inner torment of knowing you caused your own suffering.
Precisely. That anotapati, that regret, that burning remorse.
And the impact of this teaching right there and then.
It was immediate and powerful. The farmer, hearing this, understanding it fully now.
He attained Sotapati.
Instantly. Stream entry. A huge spiritual leap. And not just him.
Others too.
Yeah, many of the monks who were there listening also attained various stages of enlightenment. It was a deeply impactful teaching moment born from this near tragedy.
Amazing. So wrapping this up, how do we connect this ancient story, all these dramatic events, to us now?
Well, it's pretty direct, isn't it? That core message about foresight, about thinking through our actions.
Avoiding future regret. Making choices now that we can stand by later.
And it shows how easily misunderstandings can happen, even from seemingly small things, like just covering something with dust.
Yeah, that small act nearly cost him his life.
And the power of having a witness, someone credible, the importance of context.
And ultimately, the weight of our own actions, how they ripple outwards, personally and spiritually.
Absolutely, so many layers.
For me, the bits that really stand out are, that snake comment. So clever, but so easily misunderstood.
Right.
And the farmer repeating it, just baffling till you know the whole story. And the king's wisdom in pausing and investigating.
All crucial turning points.
So here's something to maybe think about after listening. What are the snakes in your own life? The situations that seem confusing, maybe negative on the surface, could looking closer reveal something else. A hidden opportunity maybe, or a warning.
That's a great question. What actions are you taking right now, today?
That you genuinely believe you won't regret tomorrow.
Worth pondering.